So apparently Warner Brothers has announced that Batman is going to reboot again because, The Dark Knight Rises is the last movie in Nolan's trilogy, and because everything got wrapped up in a bow. So, this is just going to be my thoughts on the second Batman reboot, because it's not the first one, as a lot of people are thinking, they're like, wait, hold on, wait, what? The second? In case people are idiots and didn't watch the Tim Burton / Schumacher movies. Yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so what I want to see from this is that I want it to have a comic book feel. Like kind of like how what the Avengers did. It felt like a comic book. Like, it was a movie, yes, but it felt like a comic book. It didn't feel realistic at all. That's what I want to see from Batman. Like, kind of like what the Avengers did. I guess Iron Man 2 and The Amazing Spider-Man in a way. Well, then again, they didn't have any realistic tones to it either. So, yeah, that's what I want to see. And Bruce, I think he should be in his late 20s or early 30s. Because I kind of feel like if you bring the young Batman thing back in, it would kind of feel like Nolan's films again. So kind of, stray away from that and make it different. And the main thing, skip the origin story. We already know what happens. Like, we already know that Bruce Wayne's parents die and he wants to give Gotham justice by getting rid of the criminals. So, we already know that. Have him already be Batman. That's just simple as that. Just have him already be Batman. And one thing I do want to see from him compared to the Nolan films, Batman needs to have his detective skills. That's one thing. Because in the Nolan films, he is a young Batman, so maybe he didn't have any detective skills. I did enjoy all of them. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy all of them. But have his detective skills, it would just... Because it adds more stuff to Batman. So, yeah, the detective skills, him being in his late 20s or early 30s, would be good. Next I want to get down to is the Batcave. The Batcave is something I want to see that no man could have ever built. I want to see something like that, like in the Batcave, have it kind of similar to the animated series, like from what the 90s had, you have the Batmobile, you have the Batcycle, the Batpod, the Batwing. What else was there? Like the Batboat? Yeah. You could have all of those and just make it feel like something that no man would have ever built. Something along those lines would just be good. And yeah, that's what I want to see from the Batcave. The next thing I'm going to get down to is the Batmobile. It's going to look a lot different from the Tumbler. That's one thing I already know for a fact, that they're going to make it a lot different compared to the Tumbler. Make it I think that the Batmobile should be like a Ferrari times 20. That's what I can picture it as, this, not this Ferrari that's completely out of this world and is different from all the other cars. That's what I want to see. It could be like a Ferrari times 20. I'm just saying that's what I want to see from the Batmobile anyway. And next I want to get down to is Gordon. He can be the same. I don't have a problem with him. But if I did want to change him, I would kind of make him the cop that thinks the police can take care of everything until Batman takes care of a threat that, that kind of wreaks havoc across Gotham. And then after that, he can just be like, well, maybe we should trust him. Maybe just be like, oh, maybe the cops do need his help. Maybe we could use his help. Yeah, I'll go with the helping side. Cops won't do that much. That's what I kind of see from Gordon. He's like, the cops can handle everything. We don't need Batman. We have the cops. We have the force. And up until what Batman does, he'll be like, oh, maybe we could use his help. Yeah. So that's kind of what I want to see from Gordon. He can be the same, but at the same time he can have the characteristics that I just gave him. Next I want to get down to is Harvey Dent. Now, from what I remember, and from what a lot of people have been talking about, is that Harvey Dent was originally supposed to be in Batman Begins, but they replaced him with Rachel Dawes' character because they felt like they didn't do Harvey Dent justice, and that's why they put him in The Dark Knight, which it would have been interesting because if Harvey Dent was in Batman Begins, you would have known him for 2 films, and that would have been a lot more impactful on him as a character because you already had him as a good guy for 1 full movie. And then in the second one you have him, like, shifting towards the bad side. Let's just stick with that. So Harvey Dent being in this movie, that's what I want to see. I want to see Harvey Dent as Bruce Wayne's friend. And other thing is that Bruce Wayne shouldn't have a love interest. That's what I think. I think there should be no love interest in this movie. At least in the first one. Maybe 2 and 3 and possibly 4. I don't know. But yeah, have him be Bruce Wayne's friend. And I think, Harvey Dent should be like the only character that doesn't find Batman a threat to Gotham. I mean, Gordon's not gonna find him a threat. It's just that Gordon thinks, like I mentioned before, like he thinks the cops can take care of everything. But Dent, I feel like his character should be like, well, I feel like he should be like, Batman knows what he's doing and he can take care of Gotham. He should be that only character that does things like Gotham is in Batman's hands. He can stop the threats that can be coming. So that's kind of what I can see from Dent. And one character that I've been wanting to see from the Nolan movies was Barbara Gordon. Now, I know in some extent Barbara was there, Gordon's wife. But here I just want to see Barbara Gordon, like the Barbara Gordon that becomes Batgirl. That will be cool. The reason I'm saying that is because it's something I wanted to see in the Batman movies. Now, Batman and Robin totally ruined her character. I was disappointed at that. I felt like, why? Why did you do that? Batman and Robin is just something I don't want to even bring up. I'm pretty sure that's something no one wants to bring up because it was a bad experience. But yeah, Barbara Gordon, I think, not really give her a main role. Kind of just be like a cameo, kind of make her a senior in high school. Because I remember from reading the comics that, Barbara Gordon was 18 when she became Batgirl. So maybe have her become a senior, in high school. Maybe it's like her final months in high school. So it's not like it's not like, oh, she'll be in high school throughout the entire series. No, it's going to be like, okay, she'll be there for maybe about 20, 25, 30 minutes. That much screen time is good, in my opinion. But I wouldn't have her become Batgirl yet. I would just introduce her as Barbara Gordon. That's what I would do. And, the main villain, which a lot of people are wondering who the main villain should be. The main villain, I want him to be David Hasselhoff. No, I'm just kidding, guys. The main villain should be Mr. Freeze. Now, I know some people are going to be like, Mr. Freeze? The guy just has a gun and just can freeze things up with a gun. What can that do? That's not a threat. That's just a guy in a suit holding a gun that can freeze up things. Not the Mr. Freeze I'm talking about. You look at this one right over here. From the Batman show from 2004. I think it ended in 2008. That's the Mr. Freeze I want to see. If you look at the picture, you can see his hand and you can see him free, it's having all this icy stuff come through from his hand. That's the Mr. Freeze I want to see. Because I feel like that Mr. Freeze is a threat. He can do shit with that. That's the Mr. Freeze I'm envisioning. In case there ever is a Batman movie where he is in it. I mean, Batman and Robin, he was in it, but Barbara Gordon, Bane, and Mr. Freeze, and Poison Ivy in a way. I mean, all the characters were complete trash. Mainly, Mr. Freeze and Barbara Gordon. I mean, Bane, on some extent, they got partially right. I mean, they injected the venom in, but Bane was supposed to be intelligent, not the gimp we saw in Batman and Robin. and I'm glad they fixed him in The Dark Knight Rises. No, I've heard some people say like, like Bane's pretty much just like he's pretty much the Bane from Batman and Robin, except he can talk. Yes, in a way it kind of is, but I still found that Bane 10 times better than the Bane of Batman and Robin. But back on track here. So yeah, Freeze should be the villain, and his origin story, in case you guys don't know, it was... Now I gotta remember, because it's been a while since I've read the comics, but from what I remember, Freeze, he works for this company, at least this little mall boss thing. I believe it was like a company thing, and his wife had some kind of illness, and he put her in like cryostasis to try helping her, try making her feel, but to try making sure that she gets back on recovery and like, back to health. And then kind of his boss kind of tampers with it, and his wife shatters from the cryostasis thing, and he and then his boss kind of just locks him up into the cryostasis thing, and then when he wakes up, he kind of feels all lonesome and depressed about that, and he goes nuts. That's actually not that bad. I mean, I know it's kind of sympathetic, but that's Freeze. That at least sticks true to his origin, so that would be cool. I mean, he's insane, and he wants to turn Gotham into like an Arctic ice zone. That would just be a pretty cool plan that a villain would have. I mean, if that's gonna be Freeze's motive, okay, I'm in for it. And everyone in Gotham, this is the other thing, I think everyone in Gotham should be afraid of Batman at first, because they have him as a vigilante, and like, oh crap, this guy is dressing up in a bat suit. I don't know if we should trust him or not. Like, kind of like that. But then, when he does take care of Mr. Freeze from preventing him from making Gotham into an Arctic ice zone, that's when they see him as a hero. Freeze. This is what bugs me. Freeze, I mean, he can either die or he can be sent to Arkham Asylum. I'm more towards him being in Arkham Asylum, because then you could save up some villains. And, yeah, where do you see villains that have died in, Batman so far? The Joker? From what I remember reading in the comics, all the villains are just sent to Gotham, and then they kind of just break loose. I know a couple of them died. I don't remember which ones, though, but I just know a couple villains died. Just a couple. But that being said, this is towards the end of the movie, Freeze gets sent to Arkham. Commissioner Gordon creates the bat signal. Which kind of suggests that, he's like, okay, maybe we do need his help. That's kind of why he creates the bat signal. And Barbara Gordon, she becomes inspired by Batman's heroic acts and starts to think of him as his role model. So this, she also just starts to make a little design. She starts to draw something, and we didn't know what is up. And then this is how it should, the ending should be her dad calls her, and we kind of zoom into into the drawing she was doing, and it's the design of her Batgirl costume, and that's how the movie should end. So it kind of suggests that Barbara Gordon will become Batgirl in the second movie. Now some people would probably be after watching this, be like, why not have Robin? I wouldn't mind having Robin, at least Tim Drake, but the thing is that Tim Drake came after Barbara. Dick Grayson, I don't mind him, I just don't feel too much of the character that much. He's okay, but I'm more towards Batgirl, because I'll be honest, I played Batman Vengeance, that's when I first remember seeing her, only her, and I was like, oh, he has a little sidekick. Nice. And not only that, but I'm also, this is kind of leaning towards a little bit more towards the 04 animated series where Batgirl was introduced for Robin, so that's kind of the other reason why. I know some people might have some problems with it, but if for good storytelling wise, that's the whole reason why I'd want to do it that way, to introduce Batgirl before Robin. Kind of do a little spin on the Batman animated series. And the final thing what should the title be to this? It's what I've been saying this entire time. The title of the first movie, anyway, should be called The Batman. You guys get the reason why, because I've kind of been mentioning of the animated series a lot in this video. So, yeah, that's kind of what I want to see from the reboot, at least from movie 1.